יענכני במגלי צדק למען שמו, גם כי אלק וגיא צל מוות, לא ידע רע כי אתה עמדי. שבטך ומשענתך המה ינחמוני, תערוך לפני שולחן נגד צורריי, דשענת בשמן ראשי כוסי רוויה. אך טוב וחסד ירדפוני כל ימי חיי, ושאבתי בבית אדוני לאורך ימים. The words of the 23rd Psalm, Psalm of David. Adonai is my shepherd, I shall not want. Giving me repose in green meadows, leading me beside the still waters to revive my spirit. Guiding me on the right path, for that is God's essence. Though I walk through a valley of the shadow of death, I fear no harm, for you are with me. Your staff and your rod comfort me. You prepare a banquet for me in the presence of my foes. You anoint my head with oil, my cup overflows. Surely goodness and kindness shall be my portion all the days of my life, and I shall dwell in the house of Adonai forever. I would like to take a minute to welcome everyone. We have a few people here at the cemetery, and we also welcome everyone who took the time to tune in this afternoon. My name is Rabbi Anibal Mas from Congregation Shaarei Zedek, and it's my great honor to be here officiating the funeral service for Sidney Schwartz of blessed memory, who is also known by his Hebrew name, Shmuel Israel ben Abraham Ubracha, Zichrono Livracha. He was the son of Avram and Betty Schwartz of blessed memory, the husband, beloved husband of Sharon, the brother of Lorraine and also of Shirley of blessed memory, the father of Stuart and Layla, Karen and Debbie, the grandfather of Rebecca and Chris, Jan, Maya and Sophie. Sidney Schwartz passed away on Monday, May 17th, at the age of 87. And many of you may remember Sidney Schwartz as an accomplished judge. But to my surprise, when I asked his family to define Sidney, their first reaction was not to define him as a judge, but as a loving husband, father, and grandfather. And I agree with the family in the sense that to be a family person is the best legacy a person can leave behind. In Judaism, the family is the focus. Even after the destruction of the Second Temple, the rabbis wisely transferred authority from the priests to the parents. For example, the traditional priestly blessing once reserved exclusively for the priests, which the rabbis reappropriated for parents to say over their children in the home. And the transition of central focus from the temple to the home represented a major shift in rabbinic Judaism to let us know that we should focus on the home and on the family. And I realized that different people expressed their Judaism in different ways. Some expressed it in the synagogue, and some others, like Sidney, through solid Jewish values that he expressed with her family and with the world at large. There are a couple of verses in the book of Leviticus relating to honesty in business, instructing us not to overcharge others for goods and services, and not to underpay those who provide us with goods and services. But the Talmudic sages read much more into these verses than simply honesty and fairness in business, extending the directive to how we conduct ourselves overall with our fellow human beings. And Sidney Schwartz lived a life guided by the values of honesty and integrity. And I would like to quote a very interesting passage that I found, and this is from Stephen Covey's, and it's from a book called The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. And it reads like this: integrity includes but goes beyond honesty. Honesty is conforming our words to reality. Integrity is conforming reality to our words. In other words, keeping promises and fulfilling expectations. This requires an integrated character, a oneness, primarily with self, but also with life. In these days, it's very difficult to find integrity. Because integrity is the ability not only to say what you mean, but to mean what you say. And that was a value present every day in the life of Sidney Schwartz. He possessed a remarkable intellect that he nurtured. Strong wind here. Let me say it again. He possessed a remarkable intellect that he nurtured and refined during his life. And Sidney was also a loyal friend to many. And the benefits of friendship are appreciated by Jewish tradition. We read in Ecclesiastes that two are better than one because they have a good reward for their labor. For if they fall, the one will lift up his fellow. But woe to him that is alone when he falls, for he has not another to help him up. Friends offer each other help, loyalty, protection, support, and guidance. And Judaism defines friendship as one of the primary relationships in life, a tie at times matching that which bonds blood relatives. And as I said in my opening remarks, Sidney Schwartz dedicated his professional life to the law, eventually becoming a Court of Queen's Bench judge for 20 years. Let me quote Maimonides, a medieval Jewish philosopher, rabbi, and physician. And he said that the 7 fundamental qualities of a judge are wisdom, humility, fear of God, disdain of money, love of truth, love of people, and a good reputation. Traits that were present in the life of Sidney. He also valued education and lifelong learning and instilled this value in his family. For a modern society, education is of utmost importance. There are so many influences coming from all directions, and education can help us decipher what we should take as true and what we should take with a grain of salt. Education can mold people into functional members of society with the right kinds of values. Sidney was also a generous giver. It is interesting that the Hebrew word for give is hav. It is the same root of ahava, which means love. The Jewish idea is that giving is what leads to love. When you give to another, you invest part of yourself. The recipient then becomes more precious to you. Tzedakah is the Hebrew word for philanthropy and charity. And according to the rabbis, it is a form of social justice in which donors benefit from giving as much or more than the recipients. So much more than a financial transaction. Tzedakah builds trusting relationships and includes contribution of time, effort, and insight. But Sidney had many interests beyond his professional and family life. It was remarkable that he was a computer expert. This is something that we usually say about teenagers, not about a judge in his 80s. But he was able to see the benefits of technology and became a pioneer and an avid user of computers. Sidney was also an avid follower of current events. He understood the need of understanding of the ever-changing world in order to make the best decisions about how to live his life. Sidney also enjoyed sports, especially the Winnipeg Goldeyes, and loved traveling around the world. So the word eulogy means a good word. Giving a eulogy is a way to honor Sidney's life. It is also a way to provide comfort to those who are heartbroken. The eulogy expresses sorrow for the loss, yet it celebrates and finds meaning in Sidney's life. So I would like now to invite Karen Schwartz to come forward to share a eulogy on behalf of the family.
Thank you, Rabbi. Yesterday, Rabbi Moss asked us who was going to deliver the eulogy today. He told us that the eulogy is the key part of the Jewish funeral. We all protested, not wanting to include this in the service. In thinking about this later, I decided to do what Sid would have done. I looked up the definition of the word in the Oxford Dictionary. I can report that a eulogy is a speech or piece of writing that praises someone or something highly, especially a tribute to someone who has just died. However, although he made significant contributions to many things, Sid was not someone who sought or wanted praise. In fact, he did not even want to be eulogized. As the family was sitting around and reminiscing about Sid, talking about those he influenced during his lifetime, I was most struck by my sister-in-law Layla's comment. Sid valued education and lifelong learning and instilled this in his family. As I thought more about this, I realized that perhaps the best way to eulogize Sid is not to focus on the past, but to look to the future. Because his greatest contribution and lasting legacy is his 4 wonderful grandchildren whom he adored. Because of his influence, they have flourished. Rebecca is undertaking postdoctoral studies as an electrochemist working in synthetic biology at Harvard University and the Harvard Medical School. Jan just started a new role as a data governance and quality analyst at the Temerty Centre for AI Research and Education in Medicine at the University of Toronto's Faculty of Medicine. Sid was so proud to support Jan's studies at the University of Oxford. Maya will finish her double honours Bachelor of Arts degree in English and Contemporary Studies in the spring of 2022 from the University of King's College in Halifax. Her goal is to continue her studies at the graduate level in Montreal. Both Jan and Maya are already published authors. And Sophie, Sid's youngest grandchild, will graduate from Balmoral Hall School in the summer of 2022, seek entry to the University of British Columbia, and pursue her goal of becoming a licensed naturopathic doctor. So thank you, Dad, and thank you, Zeta, for everything.
Thank you so much for those words. May the memory of Sidney Schwartz be a source of blessing, inspiration, and comfort. And let us say Amen. El Maled Achamim Shochem Bameroimim Hametze Menucha Nechona Tachat Kanfei Hashechina Vema'alot Kedoshim Kedoshim Uteorim Kezoyer Araki Amazirim Eden Ishemat Eden Ishemat Shmuel Israel Ben Avram Uvracha שהלך לעולמו בעבור שאנו מתפללים ביד הצקרת נשמתו בגן עדן לכם בלרחמים. אז תראיו בסדר כנאביו לעולמים, וצרור בצרור החיים, החיים את נשמתו. אדוני הוא נחלתו, וינוח בשלום על משכבו. ונאמר amen. Exalted, compassionate God, grant infinite rest in your sheltering presence among the holy and pure to the soul of Sidney Schwartz, who has gone to his eternal home. Merciful One, we ask that our loved one find perfect peace in your eternal embrace. May his soul be bound up in the bond of life. May he rest in peace. And let us all say, Amen. Please join me now in the recitation of the words of comfort, the words of the mourner's Kaddish. Yitgadal ve'yitgadash shemei Rava, be'almad divrach hirutei, ve'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon u'b'yomechon ובחיי דכל בית ישראל, בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו אמן. יהא שמי רבה מברך לעולם ולעולמי עולמיה. יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא, ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשה בריחו. לעילה מן כל ברכתה ושירתה, תושבחתה ונחמתה, דמירם בעלמה וימרו אמן. יהא שלמה רבה מן שמיה, וחיים עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. עושה שלום ממרומיו, ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל ישראל וימרו אמן. המקום ינחם אתכם ותוך שרב לציון בירושלים. May God bless you and comfort you. And let us all say one more time, Amen. We have one more obligation to fulfill here at the cemetery, and that is to participate in the burial process. Everybody here is invited to come forward, pick up a shovel, and to put a little bit of dirt on top of Sidney's coffin. This is, according to the rabbis, an act of kindness. And in fact, the rabbis call it an act of true kindness, because when you do something for someone who passed away, who cannot repay you in any way or form, then you know that this the highest form of kindness. So family is invited first, and then everybody else. And thank you all for coming. Thank you everybody for tuning in.